In this video, I'll show you how to retrofit cruise control to a Ford S-MAX. This procedure also applies to other Ford models, including the Mondeo MK5, Galaxy MK4, Kuga MK2, and Ford Fusion. I'll show you the entire process step by step, including replacing the steering wheel cruise control switch, and then using FORScan to enable and configure the cruise control system in the vehicle. To begin, we need to disconnect the battery. This will prevent any accidental short circuits and allow us to safely remove and reconnect the airbag during the procedure. To disconnect the battery, we only need to remove one battery terminal. The positive terminal is easily accessible, and we need a 10mm spanner to loosen it. Now, let's move inside the car and remove the airbag. On the back of the steering wheel, you can see a small round opening. We need to insert a tool with a flat end into this opening. I'm using a wooden stick for this. Insert the tool into the opening and press it firmly. This should release the spring clip that holds the airbag in place. While keeping the tool pressed, gently pull or pry the airbag away from one side of the steering wheel. It may not release on the first attempt. In my case, I had to try several times before I managed to release the retaining clip. Once the clip is released, the airbag can be carefully pulled away from the steering wheel. To make the airbag release procedure easier to understand, I'll show you how the mechanism works. This is the retaining mechanism. We insert the wooden stick through the opening, press against the spring, and push it to release the airbag. Now it's time to disconnect the airbag connectors. There are two connectors. We'll start with the yellow one. First, release the orange locking tab, and then carefully pry the connector out. Be gentle to avoid damaging or breaking the connector. Next, we move on to the black connector with the red locking tab. Release the red plastic lock first, and then carefully disconnect the connector. Once both connectors are disconnected, the airbag can be safely removed. With the airbag removed, we can now remove the plastic panel mounted on the steering wheel, which houses the control buttons. This panel is held in place by clips, so technically it can be removed by simply pulling it away from the steering wheel with the right amount of force. However, I'm going to use these plastic trim removal tools to carefully pry the panel away. This helps prevent any damage to the steering wheel or the other components around it. I'll work my way around the panel, gently releasing the clips one by one. This makes it much easier to remove the panel without damaging anything. The panel is now released and can be lifted away from the steering wheel. Next, we need to disconnect the two electrical connectors attached to the buttons on the panel. Carefully disconnect both connectors so that the panel can be completely removed. Now we need to remove the switch on one side of the panel. The original switch does not have the cruise control buttons, so we need to replace it with the version that includes cruise control. The switch is secured with 3 screws. Simply remove the 3 screws, take out the original switch, and install the new cruise control switch in its place. Then tighten all 3 screws to secure it properly. Now that the new cruise control switches are installed, we can put the panel back onto the steering wheel. First, reconnect the electrical connectors to the switches on both sides of the panel. Make sure each connector is properly seated and securely connected before fitting the panel back into place. Now we can refit the panel onto the steering wheel. Just as we removed it by pulling it out of the clips, we can now simply press it back into place until all the clips are securely engaged. Before pressing the panel fully into position, make sure that all the electrical wires are routed in the same positions as they were before removal. This is important because incorrectly routed wires could interfere with the horn mechanism or prevent the horn from working properly. It also helps prevent the wires from being pinched or damaged when the panel is pressed back into place. Once everything is correctly positioned, press the panel firmly into place. Now it's time to reinstall the airbag. First, reconnect the 2 electrical connectors. It doesn't matter which one you connect first, but make sure each connector is fully pushed into place and then secured with its locking tab. Make sure the connectors are positioned correctly and that both locking mechanisms are fully engaged. The airbag is secured to the steering wheel at 3 mounting points. 2 are located at the top, while the third one is a clip at the bottom. Start by engaging the 2 upper mounting points. Make sure the airbag is correctly aligned with the steering wheel, and then press the bottom section firmly into place until the lower clip locks into position. As you can see, everything has clicked securely into place. Finally, check the gap around the airbag and make sure it is even on all sides. This confirms that the airbag is sitting correctly and is properly aligned with the steering wheel. Now we can reconnect the battery. Reconnect the battery terminal and tighten it securely. Then go back inside the car. The first thing we want to check is whether the horn is working correctly. Turn the ignition on and test the horn to make sure everything is functioning properly after reinstalling the steering wheel controls and airbag. Of course, we should also test all the other steering wheel controls that were working before. Check each button and switch to make sure they are still functioning correctly after reinstalling the panel and airbag. At this point, the new cruise control buttons will not work yet because the cruise control system has not been enabled in the vehicle. So now we need to connect a diagnostic interface to the OBD port. For the programming and configuration, I'll be using FORScan. No, we can connect the computer to the vehicle using the OBD interface. Before making any changes, it's a good idea to check for any existing fault codes. If there are any codes that are no longer relevant, you can clear them before continuing. Next, go to the programming section and select PCM module configuration from the list. In the filter, type Cruise Control. The Cruise Control option should now appear in the list. Double-click it to open the configuration window. In the new window, select Option 2, Cruise Control, then click Write and confirm the change. Wait until FORScan confirms that the procedure has been completed successfully. Once the programming is finished, switch the ignition off, then switch it back on and confirm the message in FORScan. Now stop the current procedure and return to the main menu. Next, select BDYCM module configuration. On some models, this may be listed as BCMI module configuration. Again, use the filter and search for cruise control. You should see 2 entries, but we are only interested in the cruise control option. Double-click it to open the configuration window, select option 2, and click Write. Confirm the change and wait for FORScan to complete the programming successfully. Once again, switch the ignition off, switch it back on, and confirm the message in FORScan. Now stop the procedure and return to the main menu. The next module we need to configure is SCCM module configuration. Open it and look for steering wheel switch configuration left. From the available options, select Ford Europe Cruise with ASLD, which is option 21. Click Write, confirm the change, and wait for the programming procedure to complete successfully. Once the programming is finished, switch the ignition off and then back on. Confirm the message in FORScan. And that completes the programming procedure. Cruise control is now enabled, so the only thing left to do is test it and make sure everything is working correctly.